Hello guys, welcome back. I decided to tell another story because that's what I always like to do. Also, these nails match my background. That wasn't even intended. Oh, okay, well, let's not do a close-up on those ones. Let's do ones on this. I was going to tell something spooky for the season of Halloween. I don't even know where to start with these ones because they're kind of all over the place. I'm just going to be talking about my experiences with sleep paralysis and what's that word called? When you lucid dream and you're like out of your body and you can like roam free kind of thing. I think I've had experiences like that. I'm not sure, but I feel like they are. And you'll see why when I tell you in a minute, so. Okay, so there's stories on this channel about my old apartment that I used to live at. Because I lived at 2 apartments. The first one, I'm pretty convinced that it was haunted. There's stories about it on this channel. If you want to go check those out, I should just link those below for you to make it easier. There was, like, this time that a brush moved by itself in the bathroom. There was a couple of times where we were speaking to something on an app and it was responding to what we were saying. And I always felt watched and uncomfortable, like when I was alone in that apartment. I don't know, it just gave me really creepy vibes. I also had this night where I was listening to EVPs in my room, out in the open. There wasn't any headphones, it was just playing through my phone speaker. And all of a sudden my phone started glitching and trying to go to voice Google. Like when you try to speak into your phone and say, hey Google, or like if you have an Apple phone, I have an Android, and you'll say like, hey Siri, kind of thing. It was trying to do that on its own. Never had that happen before, and I've never had that happen since. So you be the judge if you think that's just a glitch. If it is, that is totally fine with me. I would rather it be a glitch. But that happened in that old apartment. Weird stuff happened. I always had sleep paralysis there and lucid dreaming, or what I believe to be lucid dreaming, in that apartment. There was a couple nights where I would be sleeping in my room and I'd always wake up panicked, but it was like I couldn't move. I'm trying to like budge and I can't move. And I'm trying to like talk and scream to my fiance, who was my boyfriend at the time, that was sleeping next to me. And I couldn't. And then all of a sudden it would be like I went back to sleep. And then I would come back and it would be my room again. And I still couldn't move. And I would have this sense of urgency not to look anywhere, like just keep my eyes closed because something's watching me. I'm not alone. Like, of course I have Albert next to me, but there is something else in that room with us. And I can just sense it, and I felt it, and it scared me so much. And then I look over, and there's this black silhouette of a woman at the end of my bed. I'm just trying to fight my way to wake up. I can't. So I just close my eyes really tight and like try to go back to sleep. Whenever I feel this feeling, right, I'm going to tell myself, just stay asleep or just keep your eyes closed, because if they don't know you're awake, they're not going to scare you and bother you because they don't know you're conscious. Like, I just feel like whatever it is when you're in sleep paralysis, they want to scare you. That's how I feel. That's how I got it from whatever was bothering me. They want you to be scared of them. It wasn't like a welcoming presence at all. Like, that's how I felt. So I would always tell myself just to try and stay asleep. And whenever I can get the courage to actually like wake up and like move to do that. And I'd always end up eventually waking up in a panic, and then I would like try and curl up closer to my fiance because I'm freaking scared out of my mind. And then there was this night. I have a hard time falling asleep a lot. this happened to be one of those nights. Most of the time my fiance falls asleep before I do. He can close his eyes and be out in like 5 seconds. I don't know how he does it. I'm jealous. I wish I can do that, but I don't have that kind of talent. So there was a night I was up doing whatever, playing on my phone, just chilling, just having my mind racing through these thoughts of whatever I had going on at the time. Our door, we usually shut our bedroom door when we go to sleep because I'm a paranoid person. But that night we had it cracked. We had all the lights out. There was no lights. And I've never had this happen to me. I had to Google it because I was so confused. And it came up paranormal. When I looked it up, there's paranormal lights or like phenomenons from it. Like, I don't understand. I've never heard of it before. But it happened this night where I was laying in bed, and then I look over because I start to feel like creeped out again and watched, right? And I'm about to finally fall asleep because I'm dead tired at this point, and it's probably like 5 in the morning, maybe 6. And all of a sudden I see like the crack of the doorway that leads into the hallway. There was a flash of light, and this wasn't just a flash or a blink. It was like when somebody takes a picture on their cell phone with flash on. That's what it looked like. When I saw that, I like just stared at it for a minute in shock. So I was like, what is that? And I'm trying to rationalize what I just saw, and then it did it again. And I'm just sitting there like frozen in my bed, just staring at the crack, and I'm like, what is that? Going through my thoughts, and I'm like, okay, it can't be a camera, right? Because no one else is in the house. It's just me and him. And we're asleep. Well, he's asleep. I'm awake. And then I thought of the, what do you call it? Like, the fire alarm. How sometimes those blink. But that blinked green, and it's on the ceiling, and it was further away from our, down the hall. And it doesn't blink that color. Like, it was like bright. Like, it lit up the room. It lit up the hallway. That's how illuminated the light was. Like, I can just flash. And I'm just trying to think in my head, and I can't come up with a logical explanation of what that was. And when I realized that, I get so scared in my mind. I have anxiety for one, and I watch serial killer documentaries for 2. Those are my problems. Because in my mind, when I saw that, I thought, I made up a scenario in my head that somebody broke into our apartment, and they're using their flash on their camera to see around the house so that they don't have to turn on the lights and not make as much light to know if there is someone in the house, that they're not going to disturb them or wake them up right away. You know what I mean? So that they can catch us off guard with like guns or something. So yeah, that's me laying in bed thinking that somebody broke in. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Should I call 911? I'm looking over Albert because I'm scared to even move at this point. I'm legit think that somebody's in our house, and I don't want them to know that I seen them and that I'm awake. So I look over at Albert, and I'm like, should I wake him up? Should I say something? I didn't. Luckily that no one was breaking in our house, because we probably would have been dead right now. I literally just laid in bed until the sun came up, frozen, because I was so scared to move from whatever that light was. I don't know what that light was, but it creeped me out. I've never seen anything in my life like that, but it was weird. And then there was another night, I was home by myself, and there's these days where I like to take 3 or 4 hour naps in the middle of the day, even though I woke up at like 1 p.m. So this was one of those days where I decided to take a nap, and I fell asleep on my bed, but I didn't sleep like normally like I would. I was sleeping like sideways on my bed, all curled up in a little ball, kind of towards the end of my bed. So while I'm sleeping and doing whatever, I end up like turning over and laying. My wall is like in front of me. I'm laying at the end of my bed like this, like curled up facing the wall. And I don't know how long I was asleep, but at some point I start to wake up and I realize that I can't move again. So I'm like, great. I'm having sleep paralysis again, and I just need to go back to sleep and wake back up, and everything will be fine, because that's the only way I know how to get out of it, pretty much. So I start trying to do that. I can't. I start panicking, and then I start feeling like I'm watched again. I look over. Well, I can't really. I'm like looking around me because I can't really move. I'm just on my side. I'm just looking at the wall, and then I see this shadow. And at first, the shadow of a human figure. I'm pretty sure it was like that lady again, or it was just like a human like figure. It was one of those. And then I see this hand go over, and it's just getting bigger and bigger as it's getting closer, like it's getting closer to the wall. Which doesn't make sense, because that would be the other way. You know, like you see shadows get bigger as you go further out. But for some reason it was getting bigger on the wall, like, and I felt like they were like getting closer to me. And I just started panicking, and then all of a sudden I was able to move and it was gone. And I turned all the lights on after that, so, because I had one light. When I was in that house, I always had like my hallway light on when I would take naps and leave my bedroom light off. But after that, I was like, no, I'm good. I would have a lot of lucid dreams where I would be at that house or that apartment, and I'd be walking around the house, like the apartment, and it would feel so real, but it was like my legs were so like heavy. Like I felt heavy, like when you just like wake up out of a dead sleep and you have to like go downstairs to get a drink of water or go to the bathroom, that's how it felt. It felt so real, like I can feel my legs and everything moving as I would make my way around the place. I was sleeping way too long this day. I probably slept like maybe like almost 15 hours maybe. That sounds so sad. Wow. That's really sad. So I slept very long that day, and all of a sudden in my dream, it felt like I had gotten up, like I woke up because something felt off to me and like I was in danger. So I got up and I start making my way to the hallway of the apartment area we were staying in, and I see that the door is wide open, and something tells me I need to go shut that door, and I'm trying to make my way over there to shut it and lock it, and it's just the slowest process. It's like I can't get there fast enough, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, something's gonna come through that door any second. I need to close that door. And then I finally almost get up to the door, and I just wake up. But it just, I don't know how to explain it, but it felt so real. And it just felt so creepy because it happened to be in that apartment. And I remember as I was going through everything, like the hallway, the doors were open for like, because we had like the bedroom, and then we had the bathroom, and then we had another room, like across the hall from the bathroom. And that room, everything was like disheveled and thrown around the room, and the window was open. I'm just like, what is going on? It was creepy, and I just felt so creeped out. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt so real. I don't know if that's lucid dreaming or not. I probably sound crazy, but I know what I experienced. If you guys had stuff similar like this happen to you, please leave it in the comments below because I'd love to read them. Yeah, I hope that you guys have a good Halloween season. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you do, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends who might want to watch it as well. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.